Hey there everyone, welcome back to the 2022 USBCs. We're going to be taking a look at the finals today between the Spector team and the Nickell team, two of the biggest staples in the US bridge community for a number of years at this point. And I think leading up to this coverage today, I was doing a bit of over-analysis, so I think I'm going to try and sit back and not go on any 5-minute tangents about any suit combinations or anything. We're just going to relax and take a look at what these great players are doing with these hands. I will still try and give some insight when I feel that it's valuable based on the decisions they've made, but I'm probably not going to preemptively offer a lot of my own personal insights about the hand, and we'll just take a look at what the players do with the cards. So without further ado, let's get into the action. Here we can see the scorecard for the first segment of play, and we've got in the open room Bobby Levin and Steve Weinstein, two of the old guard of American Bridge, going up against Vince DeMoy and John Kraniak. And in the closed room we have Eric Greco and Jeff Hampson going up against John Hurd and Kevin Bathurst. This was a big battle in the first segment, it looks like. 68 total imps. Lots of massive swings on some of these hands. And I'm a little curious about board 1. I think we'll take a look at board 4 afterwards, but let's see what happened on the first board of the set. Alright. Oh, let's make sure that I'm following along with you guys. Okay, so first board, no one vulnerable. South in third seed opens the bidding with a heart, and West passes. North makes a simple raise to 2 hearts. East makes a takeout double. As a passed hand, this is quite reasonable. Our hand can't be all that much better in terms of high card points. The 5-card spade suit might influence some to overcall 2 spades, but John Kraniak here decides to make a takeout double. Very flexible, shows support for all 3 of the other suits, and maybe they'll find a fit somewhere. South jumps to 4 clubs, and it looks to me like this is intended as natural. I think some people might play this as a splinter bid, but systemically it seems fairly clear that based on South's hand, this is intended as natural and could be suggesting a slam try. It could be just a hand that is interested in competing to the 5 level on certain auctions. Over this, West elects to bid 4 hearts, which feels to me like it is some sort of 2-suited hand. I think if West only had a single suit, he would have bid 4 spades, or maybe even 5 diamonds. So this 4 heart bids suggest to me that West is trying to sacrifice and doesn't know which suit is going to be a better choice, so he's offering options up to his partner. North passes, and East bids 4 spades. He has longer spades. Great. South elects to bulldoze straight into 5 hearts, and this gets doubled by West. So a couple of interesting choices, I would say, by South and West here at the end of the auction. So South is thinking, I have a very distributional hand. The diamond void is a huge offensive asset. Yes, I have 2 aces on defense, and the spade queen could potentially be a defensive trick, but I don't need all that much from partner to make 11 tricks and hearts. And on defense, it's possible I only have these 3 black suit tricks along with maybe 1 other trick from partner, which would give us plus 100 if we doubled them in 4 spades, whereas making 5 hearts would score us 450. So I think this is very reasonable. West elects to double 5 hearts, and I think this is also somewhat reasonable. You don't expect on this kind of auction the opponents are making an over trick, so you're giving up at most 200 points, which would be 5 imps, if the contract does make, but you're also preventing partner from making a phantom sacrifice, like maybe partner would have decided to bid 5 spades had you not doubled. And that's not really what we want. Our hand is fairly defensive. Ace-10 third of hearts is obviously a pretty defensive holding. It is somewhat offensive as well. But weak spades, king-queen of diamonds is a defensive asset. All these kind of lead towards defending and not bidding 5 over 5, which is generally a taboo thing to do in the bridge world. So West doubles, that ends the auction. And I have to imagine we get the lead of a singleton club. Even though it is Declare's second suit, we probably want to get a ruff if we can, and we have trump control, so we'll be able to lead our singleton club, win the ace of hearts, and I just did what I said I was not going to do. I wanted to make the opening lead first, but yes, these are all the reasons why West is going to be leading his singleton club here. Declare wins and is in a bit of a pickle, just needs to try and pull trumps as best as possible. I suspect leading a low trump is the percentage play, but maybe leading a high trump makes some sense as well. After a trump lead, which goes to the king, a club's going to come back ruffed, and that's going to be 3 tricks for the defense. The ace of hearts is the defense's last trick. Spade return gives up a spade finesse, but the ace of diamonds was always going to be there to discard the spade loser if necessary. And Declare's clubs are all high. So, 10 tricks and 1 down. Let's see what happened at the other table. At this table, East-West stayed silent throughout the auction. We had South open a heart. North bid 2 clubs, showing a constructive raise with 3-card heart support. They weren't able to do that at the other table, and this could be a reason why East elected to stay silent. He may have passed because now North is showing a bit of extra values, as opposed to the previous auction where North only raised to 2 hearts, which could be a fairly weak hand. And South just jumps to game. Nothing else to say. Opposite a passed hand, he elects not to search for a slam. Yes, maybe there are some weird layouts of the heart, spade, and club suit where a slam is making on these cards, but he decides not to go searching because that could give the opponents a better opening lead. Like if South announced his diamond void, for example, or announced his secondary club suit. And we get the singleton club lead from West once again. That makes the most sense, especially on this kind of auction where South has not showed a club suit. We follow the play. Probably going to be a very similar line of play to the other room. Declare leads the Queen of Hearts, a club comes back which is ruffed, and 10 tricks are claimed at this point. The Queen of Spades is protected from any spade leads, and Declare will be able to knock out the Ace of Hearts, cross to the King of Clubs, and then discard his spade loser on the Ace of Diamonds for 10 tricks. So, that was a pretty fast 11 imps, I would say, to the Spector team to start off the segment. But now I guess let's jump into board 4. I think we'll start with the closed room, the contract that was bid and made. All right, so in the closed room, everyone vulnerable. West is the dealer. West opens a spade. North passes. 8-card diamond suit. North could stick in a preemptive bid, but there's not a whole lot of reason to do so. North's hand has very little in the way of extra distribution, given that he has an 8-card suit already. His trumps are very weak, he has a lot of losers, so he doesn't really want to suggest a sacrifice to his partner. The only reason he might want to come in would be to preempt the opponent's auction, and even that might not be good enough. If he gets doubled in 3 diamonds, it could still be a major disaster. He could lose 5 tricks outside of the trump suit, 3 tricks in the trump suit, which would be 4 down, and at this vulnerability, that would be 1100. So, definitely not something that North wants to do. So he passes. East bids, makes an artificial game force. West shows his heart suit. East shows So this is alerted as the 2 spade bid as a fit for 1 major and asking for more information. So this doesn't confirm a spade fit yet at this point. East is just saying that he has support for at least one of the major suits. 2 no trump, 10 or more major cards with a void. Ooh, that's an exciting bid. 3 clubs asks. 3 hearts shows a diamond void. So West has now showed 10 cards in the majors with a void and diamonds. And looking at East's hand, he, may have wanted his partner to bid key card because his whole hand is just 4 aces with a balanced hand. But it seems like the way their system's set up, East is not able to relinquish control at this point. So 3 spades now confirms the spade fit. 3 no trump is alerted as a serious slam try, which is exciting. I don't know all that much about Greco and Hampson's system. I know they play 2/1, or at least they did back when I competed against them. So it's unclear to me how strong East needs to be for all of these asking bids to go through. But a serious 3 no trump bid, having already showed 5/5 and a diamond fit, West really doesn't have anything extra. So this bid seems a little strange, but maybe it's sensible depending on how strong East's hand is implied in this auction. East bids 4 clubs. West bids 4 diamonds, which is a little strange, especially since we've already showed the diamond fit. Maybe this is just asking for more information or waiting, asking partner to do something. 4 no trump is asking key cards. 5 diamonds shows 1 or 4. 5 hearts asks for the trump queen. 6 hearts says trump queen and heart king. And we get 6 spades from East. So, yeah, I mean, this all seems very reasonable. Like I said, I'm not going to try and go into a lot of analysis about whether or not East should be bidding 7 or trying 6 no trump or a variety of other things. So let's take a look at what happens in the play. North is on opening lead, and let's see what he leads. He leads a club. I was going to say I probably wouldn't lead a diamond as North because we know Declare has a diamond void. So even though that's kind of our safest lead, it doesn't do anything productive defensively for us. So we get a club lead. This does pick up the club queen for Declare, even though the ace of diamonds was going to be able to deal with that problem. And once Declare pulls trumps, he's just going to have to guess the heart suit for his for an over trick, I guess. In the contract, club queen goes to the king. We play a spade to the ace. This is an important thing to do, so Declare carefully preserved some entries to the dummy, the ace of clubs, the ace of hearts, at trick 1, so that in case Jack 10 fourth of trumps was with South's hand, this is the way we want to play the suit. We don't want to lead the king of spades, find out South has Jack 10 fourth, and then we actually lose a trump trick. So this is the only way to cater for a potential 4-0 split. And now Declare decides to pull trumps. And the only thing left to do is to plan the heart suit. And there's probably, nothing better to do than to just pick a direction and take a heart finesse. Declare elects to take the heart finesse into South's hand, and this makes some sense based on the fact that North started with a singleton spade. Without any further information, Declare only has that to work on, and the fact that North led a club, which looks like it might also be from shortness of some kind. So North elects to take the heart finesse into South. South wins the heart queen. 12 tricks are claimed. Let's take a look at what happened at the other table. So at the other table, we get the same 1 spade opening from West, and similarly, North does not overcall in diamonds. Now, looking ahead, we can kind of tell that East-West have to make decisions in the play about who has the heart queen, and if South shows a preemptive hand in diamonds, then Declare may well finesse South for that card later in the play. Let's take a look at what happens. East bids 2 clubs. Artificial could be short. 2 hearts shows hearts. Wow, it looks like both East-West pairs play this two-spade convention. I don't think I've ever heard of this, that two spades could show a fit in either major. Maybe this is new, or maybe I'm just out of the loop. Two no trump shows any minimum. Okay, so it looks like they have diverged in their systemic bidding here. Although we did get the same bid at the other table, two no trump just showed a void for them with 5-5. So here, this is any minimum hand. I wonder if that's in terms of high card points or just a general minimum, because West does have the additional fifth heart and a void, but without any aces, maybe that's a downside. Who knows? East bids 3 diamonds, showing a spade fit. West bids 3 spades. He's now showed 5-5. 4 no trump was key card by East. So I will note that it seems both Easts in these auctions were forced into becoming captain. And when you are looking for slam, you want to be captain if you don't have the controls, and you don't want to be captain if you do have the controls. By controls, I mean key cards. These aces and the king of trumps and the queen of trumps. Because if you hold this hand and you show 4 aces during if your partner asks for a key card, you're pretty happy. You've showed everything in your hand other than potentially the 4th spade, a heart fit, and the queen of diamonds and jack of clubs. Whereas, from your perspective, if partner shows the king of spades and queen of spades, you have no idea about the king, queen of hearts, you have no idea about the king of diamonds, you have no idea about the king, queen of clubs. These are the cards that you can't show from bidding key card. So I would say, in general, you would want to prefer your partner asks for key cards when you have the aces, rather than vice versa. But in both of these auctions, it looks like maybe this original 2 spade bid here, showing a fit for one or both majors, kind of forced the captaincy onto East, and it's very hard to relinquish captaincy in some of these auctions. So okay, we jump back to East having bid key card for no trump. West bids 5 diamonds, showing 1 key card. East bids 5 hearts, asking for the queen. West bids 5 no trump, showing the queen of spades and the heart king. East bids 6 clubs, looking for the king of clubs, so he's asking. And West bids 7 spades, saying he has the king of clubs. So we get to 7 spades, and East has been able to locate a bunch of kings, although he's uncertain about the heart queen, and he's uncertain about the club queen as well. But let's take a look at, well, I guess East, knowing that his partner has 10 cards in both majors, realizes that with the ace king of clubs and ace of diamonds, they already have discards for all of partner's minor suit cards. So the only thing that matters to East at this point is hearts, and this makes sense. If his partner has the heart queen, they're probably cold for a grand. If his partner doesn't have the heart queen, maybe he has the jack, and at worst it's going to be on a finesse. So I like this decision by East ultimately, given what he knows about his partner's hand. So North is on opening lead, and at this table, North elects to lead the jack of diamonds, and we can see the difference a little bit between this auction and the other auction, whereas here, I think the jack of diamonds lead is pretty obvious, I would say. It is the safest lead. Leading from an honor sequence tends to be quite safe. But here, North doesn't know that West has a diamond void, so it does make sense to lead a diamond, whereas at the other table, probably doesn't make all that much sense. Declare here is going to face the same problems that Declare did at the other table. We put in the queen of diamonds, and the reason we do this is to fish for information. It doesn't matter to us if this gets covered or not. Whether the queen of diamonds holds doesn't matter. All we care about is what North made an opening lead from. If the queen of diamonds is not covered, then we know North picked a very risky opening lead from king jack 10, and that can influence the way we play the hand. But the queen of diamonds is covered as expected. Declare once again makes this proper play of leading a spade towards the ace on the first round. He then pulls trumps, finds out about the singleton spade in North's hand, and once again elects to play the hearts the exact same way. The only information he has is the opening lead and the fact that North had 1 spade and South had 3, so he goes for the percentage play in that suit. The finesse loses, and 1 down. But we can kind of see on this board how North's decision to not make a preemptive bid in diamonds really helped the defense on this one. If North had made the preemptive bid in diamonds, yes, it could disrupt the East-West auction a little bit, but they'll still find their spade fit. They will still find at least a small slam. And if they get to the Grand Slam, they would guess the hearts correctly, given the large disparity in the diamond suit, how many cards each opponent holds. So, a bit of a faster recap today, which is good. That's kind of what I was hoping for. And a lot of imps swung. We see that the Spector team, despite that loss on board 4, picked up a handful of game swings later in the segment. Board 7, they bid and made game, while the other table did not get to game. And on board 10, they bid and made game, while their counterparts went down in the same contract on different leads. A Grand Slam was bid and made at both tables on board 14, so this is going to be... There's definitely going to be fireworks in this match, and I don't mean that just because of the holiday coming up. It is definitely 2 of the best teams in the world, even, but obviously in the United States, who are competing here, and we're going to see some great bridge over the next few days. Join me again tomorrow as we take a look at the second segment of this exciting match. See you then.